It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Oh, let's review.
We'll analyze the scene.
Sounds holly jolly to me.
Before it's over, let's begin.
Bum.
Um,
That's right, folks. Since the Christmas season is upon us, we thought the way to celebrate and get into the holiday spirit would be with some holiday reviews.
12 to be exact, decoratively divided into 4 categories for your Yuletide pleasure.
So, without further ado, silver up those bells, light the multicolored lights, and go out and build a snowman. And join us as we get into some seasonal shenanigans. What category are we unwrapping tonight, Dragon?
A television category, of course.
And we are unwrapping The Muppets Letters from Santa. 45-minute TV special that aired on NBC, oddly enough, Dragon. It was weird to me doing my research on this. I'm like, oh yeah, shoot, this was before the Disney buyout. You would never see the Muppets on NBC nowadays.
Yeah,
That fraternizing with the enemy.
I think the easiest way to remember is that it's in that window where you had the Muppet Christmas movie, and the Muppet Christmas movie had that very on-the-nose NBC gag where Kermit says, "Oh, we're all, it's she owns the media outlets," and he holds up his foot, and you see the NBC logo on Kermit's foot. Da, da, da.
God. Silly. All right.
Yep.
So, Dragon, on my thesis on this, honestly, it's all right. I don't hate it by any means. I've heard really mixed things about this one. I was kind of going in like, if it meets my Muppets level of like, if it's nice and wholesome and has some good puppetry and the characters are on point, I'll like it. And I got to admit, Dragon, he lived up to all that. I'm kind of like I'm lukewarm on this, but I'm lukewarm leaning towards liking it. I'm not in love with it by any means. I certainly don't think it's one of the strongest Muppet pieces, out there in the catalog by any stretch, but it's got a good heart to it. It's got one really, really good song that I'm already kind of emotionally attached to. And I mean that's about it. It's nothing fancy. It's nothing too too overly complicated or anything. It's just a nice wholesome 45 minutes, and like I said, it's kind of like a nice solid like 7 out of 10 Muppet project. I think it's definitely got its bad side, which we'll talk about specifically in some of the plot elements, but I don't know. It's just a nice wholesome way to kill an hour. It did its job for me. It didn't exceed my expectations, but it definitely did what I wanted it to do.
All right. For me, I gotta cop to something with Muppets Letters to Santa because Letters to Santa. Here's the thing. So for years, I misjudged this. I really did. I gave it the raw end of the stick, and I was wrong for doing so.
Were you the one that poisoned me about like how bad this was?
I well, I didn't say it with certainty. I said that one looks bad. So
Oh, okay, okay.
I didn't help though, so I do take the responsibility for that. I gave you a wrong impression of it because here's the thing. So I saw a scene from this out of context at the worst possible moment. Now it's not like the worst moment in it, but it's something that if you know nothing about what this is about, and you just jump into it. And basically, I jumped in like basically towards the ending, basically towards the big Santa scene, and basically, okay, Muppet Letters to Santa. They're reading what's on the letters, and we cut to people who are affected by it. So I'm thinking, oh, the Muppets somehow got stowed away on Santa's sled. It's gonna be like one of those cheap specials where there's like we're cutting to kids, and the Muppets are the framing device.
Oh, gee, yeah, Dragon. If only like I really hate any and all Christmas plot is basically kids stowing away on Santa's sleigh. How dare they?
Again, at a different time, Tiki. At a different time. It's one of those things we've seen it. Like I'm talking like when you do the lazy, like kind of clip show Christmas sort of thing, where you're using
I hear you. I hear you.
So again, I'll well cop to this. Again, for years, like out of the 3 Muppet Christmas things, not counting Muppet Family Christmas, which you and I happened upon, that was fine. But just looking at kind of the
it was fine. Yeah, it was decent. It wasn't that memorable.
I mean, I keep coming back to that little snowman song that the little froze, let me phrase that, the little snowman song between Fozzie and the Jerry Nelson Snowman, and I'm with Fozzie Bear. I don't know, it's cute. It's anyway. I just keep going back to that. I literally put it on just to watch that clip. Anyway, so the point is like the main three. You got Christmas Carol, you got Muppet, a very Muppet Christmas movie, and you had this. And it still pales in comparison to the other two. But that said, it captured a little bit old school Muppet magic, which it was the
Yeah, for
quality
sure.
I didn't really give it a chance with. That's the thing I got to give it points for. It does surprisingly when I was watching, it's like, oh my god, that's why I recommended this year to kind of absolve my sin on this one. It's kind of like it's sort of like a combination of Muppets from Space meets the Muppet, a very Muppet Christmas movie. It's kind of a mixture of that in some regard. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All
Okay,
right.
so that's it. Let's get into the background. Not a lot,
Yeah, shoot,
as you can
shoot.
probably imagine. Here's the background. Kirk Thatcher. Kirk Thatcher directed this. Now, Kirk Thatcher has also directed. Basically, he's kind of the Muppets' go-to TV movie or TV special guy during that NBC period of the Muppets when they were kind of coming back, but not really coming back like we thought they really were in 2011. I know it sounds so sad when you put it that way, folks, but let's just face it. It's kind of what it was. But you had the Muppet, very Muppet Christmas movie and the Muppet Wizard of Oz. He directed those two. So again, he was kind of like just kind of kind of the TV production guy. Let's see. So this did get Paul Williams to return with the music, and he was one of the writers on this. So that was kind of a neat little comeback for Paul Williams. Paul Williams kind of the age again, a little bit of Muppet magic sprinkled on by Paul Williams. And as one last thing, just a little fun fact for any Star Trek fans out there who've seen Star Trek 4, the director, you might remember the director because he had a very funny role in Star Trek 4. He was the punk rocker guy on the bus that Spock knocks out for being a prick on the bus. That's the director.
God.
We got to start. So again, all of this pre-comeback before they came back and with the Muppets in 2011, and then and the other two Muppet-related projects. So it's all she wrote.
All right, hit him with the plot.
Here's the plot in a nutshell. It's the Johnny Bravo Christmas special. No, seriously, this is what. So the Muppet. But in all seriousness, that really is pretty much what the plot is. But okay, no, seriously. Okay, here's what the plot is. The plot is the Muppets are living in an apartment in Brooklyn. They befriend a little girl named Claire, and they're on their way to take a holiday vacation. Gonzo promises to deliver Claire's letter to Santa Claus. Go drive over to the post office to send it to Santa Claus. Shenanigans ensue at the post office. The letter is not delivered, which leads to column B here leads to a flight to the North Pole to ask Santa directly. By the end of the day, Santa saves the day. He fulfills Claire's wish, which is a Merry Christmas with the Muppets for all, and that's pretty much what the special is.
All right, let's break down the characters, starting with good old Kermit.
Yes.
I feel like Kermit's just kind of like baseline nice this Christmas special, which is not a bad thing at all. He's just kind of his old froggy self. He wants to help people. He sees the good in everything. I like how he's kind of struggling with Miss Piggy wanting to go to the Caribbean.
Yeah, Kermit. All he wants to do is he wants to see some snow, and he wants to. Kermit the Frog here is just like he wants to buy the world a Coke. It's kind of what Kermit the Frog.
Yeah,
is.
exactly. That's
He just wants to make everyone happy. Which again, in the DNA of Kermit the Frog, just want to want to sing and dance and make people happy. That's who he is.
It's a very simplistic portrayal of Kermit, but like I said, for this special, there's really nothing wrong with that.
And again, kind of like Muppets from Space, it's sort of like Kermit and Gonzo kind of having a really sweet dynamic in that regard. It's kind of like kind of Kermit assisting Gonzo for a change, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
he's a supporter of Gonzo's mission, and Gonzo's mission, which is bring Christmas, bring Merry Christmas to a child. Which how can you refute that? So good old Kermit the Frog. Anyway, moving on.
All right, Gonzo. Oh man, oh man.
Great.
This was the heart and soul of the special for me. I mean, obviously, So anyone who doesn't know, I've had the privilege of meeting Dave Goelz a couple times. I even interacted with the Gonzo puppet. It's awesome. Major fanboy about that moment. So, you know, basically anytime I see a Dave Goelz character, it kind of takes on a bigger precedent for me now. And Dragon, it delighted me so much that Gonzo was the main character in this. I'm not a huge fan of the way his plot rolls out with the little girl, but I put that more on the girl's shoulders than I do on Gonzo's shoulders. Gonzo's intentions are very noble.
I think seasonal Shenanigans brings out the worst with Tiki and kids.
Something about it. Yeah. Gonzo like a spiritual. That's some big talk coming from me. It's basically the Christmas version of that song. I mean, I think kind of like, you know, who's pretty Gonzo character and how the Gonzo character is portrayed. I was incredibly happy with him.
Yeah, you know, Gonzo. I liked, you know, the friendship, the little glimpse of the friendship he's got with Claire. You know, he's determined to, you know, give Santa her letter as promised. But it's Gonzo fulfilling a promise. It's really kind of clear and direct. And no matter how, again, true to the Gonzo character, no matter how crazy and extraneous the lengths that he's going to are, he's going to do it, you know, for a friend. You know, it's the heart of the special in the best of ways. So it's, you know, it's good old Gonzo the Great.
No Camilla.
Yeah, no Camilla, which is
Again, Dragon, I'm endlessly fascinated by the dynamic between Camilla and Gonzo. Are they?
For those who don't know, Tiki pestered.
They put it on for show. What's the deal?
For those who may not be aware, Tiki, when he met the great Dave Goelz, but not only the great Dave Goelz, when he met Gonzo the Great in person, he pestered him with relationship questions, and Gonzo rightfully gave him what for. Anyway.
All right. So let's get to Fozzie. Oh man. I mean, you know, Fozzie, again, he's baseline Fozzie, but you gotta love him, dude. I mean, Dragon, for me, I've said this time and time again. I'm sure I've said this on pretty much every Muppet podcast we've had, but it's worth repeating. I feel like the heart of Fozzie Bear is that he's like the one Muppet where you actively root for him to succeed every step in the way. You know, his bad jokes might be funny, he might be the butt of some of them, but at the end of the day, you want to see Fozzie Bear succeed. All the other Muppets, there's some sort of entertainment value in seeing them get taken down a peg. But Fozzie is just, you know, he's different. He's like the literal teddy bear of the group. You know, you don't want to see anything bad ever happen to him.
But I gotta tell you, Fozzie just keeps having bad luck around the holidays with delivering stuff.
Oh, God.
You really think of that. It's not as bad as what happened to him and the Very Muppet Christmas, but just, I don't know. But no, Fozzie here, you know, he's I love that Fozzie, again, his heart's true, and again, like he, even more so than Kermit now I'm thinking about it, more so than Kermit, you know, Fozzie, he goes down to the post office with him, and, you know, like Fozzie, he's you know, he and Gonzo are simpatico for bringing Christmas to this little girl, and, you know, it's kind of, you know, doing something really seasonal and positive. And Fozzie, again, through being Fozzie Bear, he kind of screws up the plan via the bad jokes at an airport, which in itself is just really funny. The idea that we kind of held a mirror up to society. Again, it's kind of a fun, it's kind of a vaguely political joke in a good way, where it's like, hey, you know, in kind of a post 9/11 world, you can't joke about airport security. And of course, Fozzie.
Yeah, that was an oddly prophetic joke in a way.
Yeah, it was kind of clever too. Like, yeah, he's like, you can't tell bad jokes in an airport's security flags. It's kind of good satirical comedy. So again, that kind of gets, so again, Fozzie just kind of being all positive and jokey, being his good old Fozzie Bear self, kind of derails things. But again, God love him. You want him to succeed. You want the plan to succeed. Yeah.
Woo.
All right, so let's talk about the combined might of Rizzo and Pepe, the King Prawn.
Yeah, these guys are kind of like the combined skeptics of this Christmas special. I love the the resolution of Pepe in particular, but we will get there in due time.
And again, I swear to God, it's just dawning on me right now. I feel kind of stupid for not putting it together earlier. But again, Rizzo and Pepe paired together, it's identical to Muppets from Space.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I didn't put that together. But yeah, they're kind of the doubters along for the ride.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I like about the Muppets is that even they're never really mean-spirited.
Yeah.
There's just kind of a goodwill about the Muppets cast that way.
True. And I love that Pepe, we do get to learn a lot about Pepe this special. Like, we learn that Pepe has mob connections, which just cracks me up.
Of course Pepe has mob connections.
And again, we learn, Pepe. He's we'll get to that later. But yeah, definitely Rizzo and Pepe. They got kind of the lighthearted skeptics.
I think Pepe's honestly kind of the standout. Rizzo's just there for he's more kind of just along for the ride. Pepe has the actual arc.
True. I wonder. A part of me feels that ever since Pepe was introduced into the fray, bear in mind, no Muppets from Space kind of flies in the face of this a little bit, but you kind of feel like the whole Rizzo and Gonzo era of the 90s kind of has gone by the wayside. Now it's just kind of Rizzo and Pepe, I get a sense of,
I could see that. And honestly, I feel like the two work better off of each other because I feel like when it was Rizzo and Gonzo was kind of more separated from the rest of the main cast in a vaguely problematic kind of way. And, I feel like Gonzo, that's where he should be getting more of his interactions is with Piggy and Kermit and Fozzie, and not to put anything against Pepe or against Gonzo and Rizzo's interactions, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Is I feel like Rizzo almost kind of he was almost a Gonzo writing in a way in the 90s.
It was kind of a crutch, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see your point. I mean, again, part of me still loves that dynamic, but I get your point though. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Let's talk about. You're probably wondering, wait, they skipped somebody, and you're right, we did. Let's talk about her, Miss Piggy.
Oh, Kearney, we're going to spend a white Christmas on the sandy beaches of the Caribbean.
Yep, she wants a Caribbean Christmas with Kermit.
That's all she wants, Dragon. That's all the woman wants. Come on, can you blame her?
If you want to look at the grand continuity of the Muppets, it's kind of funny if you think about Muppet Family Christmas, where she goes through all that to digs through the snow and everything to be united with Kermit. Now she's like, screw that noise, let's go to the Caribbean. I don't want to do that again. But yeah, so again, she is initially coming at it from a really loving perspective, and she's just kind of bothered by Kermit being sidetracked by just helping children around the holidays. So she kind of, I just like that she kind of like a prima donna, like she is many a time. She kind of leaves the special until she realizes, like, it's not a vacation without Kermit.
God.
Right. Very little Miss Piggy.
Okay, to quote Olaf, we're making really good time.
Okay, let's talk the Claire family, Claire and her mom.
Yeah, I don't know, Dragon. To me, I just thought it was a little weird. Like, she's almost like I feel like the whole like spending Christmas with friends thing. Like, how do I put this? It was a little bit off-putting that it was just like it felt a little clingy. I'm a jerk.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Is there any validity in that at all? It felt like maybe if she would have just said she was wanting Gonzo around, I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is I felt like the relationship between her and the rest of the Muppets wasn't really all that established. Like, it felt a little rushed, and I don't know.
Look, I'll agree that
it's hard for me to talk about because it's just one of those elements that I just don't feel like it worked.
All right, well, two things. One, I just want to quickly shout out that it's kind of funny that, again, to connect the interconnective seasonal shenanigan tissues of this season, Claire was the name of the mother in Christmas Chronicles. So now we have like Claire and her mom, who was not named Claire.
You know what? I'm going to subscribe to the canon that Claire is the same Claire.
That's Claire grown up.
Yeah, that's canon now, Dragon.
Okay, no, but in all seriousness, it's like some sort of weird time vortex. All the time is just now reverse circular. Anyway, counterclockwise. Okay, in all seriousness, I'll agree to you that they're underdeveloped. That doesn't bother me. You're right, that is underdeveloped, but I still think there's kind of like you know what you need to know. I think I don't know. I thought the girl was sweet, and I like they had a really good kind of actor for the mother. They had Jane Kriskowski. She's from 30 Rock, and now I didn't watch that show, but I do like it when she pops up and things. And she's good. She's really funny. And here she just kind of I don't know why I really like the mother character. She's just kind of this. It's a small role, but as a nice mom. You know, she's kind of she's nice. And what I really liked from Claire and her mother is that they're just kind of like there's kind of neighbors to the Muppets, and it's just those wacky Muppet neighbors of mine, and it's like
Did somebody say grow up?
exactly. And she's used to it by, and that's the thing that really jazzed me about them. Like, oh yeah, she's used to the craziness of the Muppets. She's kind of expanding it onto her daughter, and her daughter has befriended one of the neighbors. Here's the thing, Tiki. I'll meet you in the middle here. A part of me wishes, like, I want to see. I would love to see that friendship in its beginnings and develop like as a side thing. But yeah, it's kind of lacking here. But I don't know. That was nice.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
All right.
Also, this is also going to sound kind of like a jerky thing to say, but I think they could have cast the mother better. Like, don't get me wrong, the actress herself was fine. Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that the nothing alike.
Well, you didn't see the father.
Distracting. Yes. Crap. Hold on. Sorry, Dragon. I have some technical issues.
I can hear.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about. All right, so let's basically we're going to quickly kind of fire through our cameos because of course it's not a Muppet production without human celebrity cameos. So let's start with the good old jolly old Saint Nick, played by the wonderful actor Richard Griffiths.
Yeah, that's. I don't know, Dragon. I'm a little Santa'd out this holiday season just because I don't feel like anything's going to top Kurt Russell Santa.
That's kind of the unfair position that we've put on all the Santas. So to be fair, that's more on us as in our selection process, but that's also Kurt Russell's being amazing as Santa Claus.
But no, that's fine though. He's really good. I really like just the the appear out of thin air just because my God, someone needs a Christmas wish granted, and I don't care if it's an elaborate wish.
Yeah, just
quality to him. He's kind of like magic and omnipresent in that way.
Sort of a classic. He's kind of a classic Santa, but also a helpful Santa. He's got a can-do attitude, which is nice for Santa Claus. It's not like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. He's sure he can do it. He's just very overconfident in the best of ways. He's granting a holiday wish. He's just a cool guy overall. He's like, if you want to meet Santa, you want to hope he's a cool guy like that. Like, man, that's a really nice Santa. Kind of represents the ideals that Gonzo respects about Santa Claus. It's like basically meeting your heroes, and the hero lives up to it. So you got that going on.
For sure.
All right, let's go down to the post office and meet our postman, played by the great Jesse L. Martin.
Oh yeah, man! I love seeing Jesse L. Martin pop up.
Me too, and just condolences to Jesse L. Martin here. I mean, oh crap, that's a wrong word. Darn, I mean sympathies, holiday sympathies to Jesse L. Martin because he's injured his back this season. I hope he's going to healing up quite nicely. I hear he's expected to return on the Flash because this year he's kind of been written out of the Flash per his back injury. So I hope he's on the mend. So. Season will get well soon to Jesse L. Martin. But anyway, talking about him here though. Jesse L. Martin, I think he represents the best of the postal service. Like, what if Cliff was actually good at his job? That's kind of what he's playing. What if Cliff could sing?
Alternatively, this is how Cliff sees himself in his own head.
Yeah, sees himself as Jesse L. Martin. I buy it.
Well, not necessarily Jesse L. Martin, but just like singing celebratory about how great he is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like out into song about how great the postal service is. I could see Cliff daydreaming that.
But yeah, he's just courteous. He gives him a tour, which leads to disaster. He's just kind of like an everyman. He's kind of like the everyman version of what Santa is here, at least the idea of Santa, where he's this everyman making a Christmas wish come true from the postal level. He's a cog in the machine, but he's happy to be one.
Mhm.
All right, so let's talk about the mob.
You can lead on this one, Dragon.
Did you never watched The Sopranos, did you?
No, not really. I tried to get into it. It wasn't really my thing.
That's fair enough. I don't blame you. Again, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But anyway, my
Yeah.
point is, I bring it up because this I would hope that they had some Sopranos fans working on this. Otherwise, they're just going to cast generic mobsters and they turn into the most recent mob thing, I guess. But our mobsters, Pepe's mob associates, are played by Tony uh, Sirico and Steve. I always mispronounce this guy's name. Steve Shrimpa. Now I know these. So these guys were in The Sopranos. They played two really good roles. One, I believe, was Paulie. I'm pretty sure that's his name. Was Paulie. The other one was Bobby. But many people, like especially myself, this is a role I like him better in actually. Steve Sharipa, he's in Blue Bloods. He plays kind of the adorable sidekick to Aaron Reagan at the DA's office. He's like kind of the detective turned like kind of investigator uh, for the DA in that show, and he's really kind of lovable. He's a lovable New Yorker. It's pretty much the big guy. It's Steve Sharipa.
Mm.
Anyway, so the point is, they're good in Sopranos, and they're definitely tapping in the Sopranos-ness of it all there. And it's kind of a really funny gag with the Swedish chef here, where the Swedish chef, he's bringing by some pizzas. How many times do I gotta tell you? It's an Italian restaurant, not a Swedish restaurant. And this gag cracks me. Makes me think they're making a direct correlation here. You hear the Swedish chef, sorry, Polly, which again, it sounds like he's saying sorry, Polly, which again is basically saying it's the same guy from The Sopranos, which is hilarious. Well, yeah, these guys with the mobsters here just on the whole. I like that they're broad, definitely, but I love that they're kind of broader, jollier versions of their Sopranos characters who do not joke about Santa Claus because they want to be on the mobsters who want to be on the nice list is inherently a funny concept.
Yeah, yeah.
And in a respect, kind of what The Sopranos is all about. Just the guy who kind of doesn't view himself as a bad guy, but he is. Anyway. And the gag of not trusting rats, I did think was hilarious too. Just like the minute Rizzo shows up, it's a cheap gag, but it's hilarious. Like, oh yeah, they don't trust a rat. Oh, it's funny, stereotypical but funny.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, Mimi and Bobo, I kind of want to just save for the favorite moments category for me, but suffice to say, I love me some Nathan Lane, and he's really on fire. I love me some Bobo, and Bobo's in top form. And
Beretta rocks, man. He really does.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's one of the more entertaining elements of the whole movie.
Yeah, they're kind of like a good cop, bad cop of TSA. That's kind of pretty much what they are. It's like, what the TSA's guys took themselves way too seriously. Well, I guess I'll save most of it from when we get there, but it's just kind of a very fun, kind of childish dynamic that they have. It's really funny. Bobo was killing it. All right. More on them later. Let's get to one of my favorites we'll touch on here with mainly her introduction, Joy.
Yeah, Uma Thurman, man. I feel like she's probably the main celebrity cameo.
Yeah, man, I love Uma Thurman. She's my favorite part of this whole thing. I gotta be honest. I just thought she was people. I just love Uma Thurman and again, I imagine this is from because I believe this is after they did Muppets Wizard of Oz, and Muppets Wizard of Oz is a very memorable Quentin Tarantino cameo in that movie. I presume that's how they got Uma Thurman into the action. Perhaps either she watched it or like Tarantino told him about it. I don't know. But it's Uma. Basically, obviously, every celebrity has a fondness for the Muppets. Most, if not all, celebrities have a fondness for the Muppets and would love the cameo or have like a small role or something. I think Uma Thurman in that tradition here. She's just like the most pleasant and helpful ticket agent stewardess of the airport. She saves the day. She's a Deus Ex Machina with a Tarantino charm, and I dig it.
For sure.
And for me, I would love to think, Tiki, I have no bearing on this, but I would love to think they made her stewardess. They made her like the ticket agent because of the scene in Kill Bill. The first Kill Bill, she goes like one to Okinawa, and she's going up to the ticket agent. It's like the reverse. So she's the ticket agent now. I'm convinced it's a Kill Bill reference.
Oh, God. That's a deep cut there, Dragon. But I didn't think about that. But I think
it's such a nice part of that thing because she's killing all sorts of guys, and she's pleasant to the ticket agent guys on the Okinawa. All right.
Okay, so let's get into some. Let's make a list and check it twice and find out what in this movie is naughty and nice.
All right. I don't have a lot for naughty, but
Um, uh, it kind of bothers me that the main plot could easily be solved by just opening the letters. Although, granted, they do have a hilarious write around to that we'll get to. Basically, kind of like addressing the plot hole right in the face.
yep.
But I don't know. Like I said, I think Claire could have been a little bit better developed. Maybe I think that the ultimate resolution, while definitely having its heart in the right place, is a little bit of a forced message. I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah, Dragon,
Well,
I'm with you. It's kind of hard to. Yeah, I will say, like in comparison to other Muppet stuff, this one doesn't really. I don't think it's going to stand out. It doesn't really do a lot to set itself apart. I don't know. It's like I said, the only really negative things I can say to this are in regards and comparing it to other Muppet projects. And let's face it, like Muppets at the end of the day, it's kind of like a Pixar thing where everything they're involved in, just by the very nature of the puppetry, is going to be at the very least cool to look at on a technical level.
yeah, like the only thing that's really dicey is Muppet Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, but
And even
I
that
think
has its good
Muppet
qualities.
Wizard of Oz is like the Cars 2 of the Muppet franchise.
It has its good qualities, and like I defend it more than most, but still I admit, yeah, it's really not their best stuff. Basically, it's like Muppet Treasure Island, but really, really light. All right,
Hey, Treasure Island has a ton of nostalgia for it, though. Like, there's a
sorry.
lot of people that grew up on Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah. All right, let's see. I don't. Again, the very little naughty that I do have for this. I feel the songs feel a little mandatory than natural. Like they don't feel like. Again, don't know. There are good songs. There's some good. The songs aren't bad. I want to make that clear. I don't feel the songs are bad. They feel like kind of forced in place. Like we need a song here. You know.
Uh, let's just say this: compared to the next movie we're talking about, the songs are like the best Disney soundtrack ever.
True. True. Okay, Rizzo feels like he's just along for the ride. Just basically he's an echo for Pepe. Just feels like it's the same thing Pepe's saying, but now it's like two characters. So Rizzo just feels kind of like thrown in there.
Mhm.
The post office scene is a little contrived. Again, that's really just kind of applied. Like, okay, well, obviously something needs to go wrong with the post office. Just feels like what? Basically, it's like Gonzo. I think it's Gonzo. Like just someone pulling a lever to make things go fast. Like, God, I've seen that so many times. Do we have to do it again?
Yeah.
We write Piggy out, and it's very transparent that to me, it could just be me. I don't know. It might be a subjective thing. I think it's transparent. They wrote Piggy out because they had nothing to do for her. I think it reads like that because they had nothing to do for her. Like, again, Piggy's a character where there's only, you have to put her in contrast to somebody, and in doing a mission of like helping a child, you can only, it feels too noble for Piggy in a way, if that makes any sense, you know?
Well, it feels too noble for her, but at the same point, it feels like too taboo for her to like just shit on that the whole movie.
That's the thing. So it just feels like they were in a rock and a hard place, and the problem is
Uh-huh.
that's too apparent to me when I'm watching. It's like, yeah, they just wrote Piggy out because they had nothing to do for it. It's kind of a shame, but I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just really like, yeah, it's kind of I can see how the sausage is made on that one. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Let's see. So also, we last thing I got is we meander at the North Pole for a bit, and it's so short. But it feels like a long time. So we reach the North Pole, and we're just kind of sadly walking around. Don't be wrong. Something good happens while we're meandering around, but it just feels like, I don't know why. It just feels long. The way that's structured, I don't know. A little bit of pacing issues on that. The Whoopi Goldberg cameo just to address it's that's all. Just, it's kind of
It kind of comes out of nowhere, right? And it's not really it isn't even met with much fanfare. It's like this is when it's like in a Muppet movie. Yeah, I've seen
Like you
it.
don't need her. They just take a cab ride. You don't need that scene at all. Like it doesn't feel like I'm so glad I saw that scene. It just feels like, oh look, Whoopi Goldberg, because she was in the other one. She went from God to a taxi driver. That's something, right? Okay. All right, the nice stuff.
All
So again,
right.
I think it's a good cast. I think we had a good cast and good human good human
Yeah, I mean,
acting.
I definitely think in terms of like the characterization, the Muppets are all really on point.
Yep.
They're baseline Muppets, but they everything they do with them is pretty is pretty spot on.
It's good to see Paul Williams get a cameo. I wasn't basically here's the thing: the Paul Williams cameo. It's. I don't believe he's shown up in a Muppet movie since the first one, which is why it kind of jazzes me a little bit. And also, it's a deep cut to he did a Christmas movie early in his career, so he's playing the same character from that Christmas movie. So that's kind of a neat little pull for Paul Williams. Gonzo as the lead is refreshing. It's always nice to see Gonzo kind of take the lead now and again. For me, it's a very pleasant demeanor all around. It's really, I just love. There's so much pleasantness throughout this whole thing. That's kind of checking the right boxes for me.
Yeah, it's just all around, in terms of the nice category, nice sums it up well. It's nice, you get a nice warm, like cozying up around the fire type vibe when you watch it.
Yeah, I liked how they get the mayor cameo, Mayor Blumberg, and like the gag where Piggy is saying like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk to the mayor," and of course, yes, Miss Piggy. It's like that's awesome. Got the actual mayor like, right there. And there's of course this very ironically, oh, New Yorkers are nothing but polite. It's very funny. I already mentioned that the TSA subtext is really funny about airport security. It's kind of a good, it's a clever gag. On the whole, last main thing I have here is that I like that it homages elements of the Muppet movies. There's a bit of Great Muppet Caper with the comedy, like with the cameos and such. There's we have running gags, basically Joy is a running gag, kind of like Myth from the Muppet movie. Again, it's not to the same caliber, but it feels like something in reference to something like that. And, like Bobo, the kind of Muppets from space, and you have a little bit of Muppet Family Christmas here and there. Again, it's a really nice sampling of kind of the best of for the Muppet movies. It's kind of nice.
For sure.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to our moments.
Okay, who goes first chronologically here?
Okay, one second. I think it's me. Let's just go with me.
Okay.
I think it's me. All right, so because right off the bat here, my favorite moment in the whole thing, the thing I laughed hardest at, aside from Joy, is probably Sam Eagle and his cameo. So
and I mean, Dragon, this is also one of my favorite moments. I'm not gonna lie, it had me rolling as well.
This one made me laugh at myself because I'm a stickler for the mail thing myself. I'm one of those guys. I'm the whole no, you can't. I'm the never open another person's mail sort of guy. So this spoke to me a lot. It's like, yeah, I'm basically I sound exactly like Sam Eagle in this situation where I'm always like kind of chastising the people who are open like letters. Like, hey, no, don't open that. It's a federal offense. Don't open that. It's not yours.
You could go to prison.
So that's pretty much what Sam Eagle did. Is I was laughing at myself mainly, but also just the Sam Eagle. I love we had the logo of the post office, of course, is the eagle behind it, and it's just Sam Eagle with the patriotic music and everything, giving this awesome PSA. Which, of course, a PSA of this caliber reminds me of the Adam West years of Batman, where he has this great, very helpful and true, but very again, the man means what he says here. It's like, it's a federal offense to open someone else's mail. You could go to prison.
It very much reminds me of the jaywalking moment from Cape Crusaders.
That's what I'm saying, and I loved it. It was my favorite moment in the whole thing. And they used Sam Eagle so appropriately, and that again didn't overstay his welcome. He was there, he nailed it. He slam dunked it, and he went out of there. Mic drop, man, awesome. Patriotic and helpful around the holiday season. And as you said too, it does solve a story problem too. So it's plot relevant too. It's a perfect moment all around. Let's see. Beyond that, then there's the Beaker. Beaker has a really funny gag where Beaker, again, we address the Deus Ex Machinas and we address the plot issues in really hilarious ways. And I think it's the majority of what I got on my list here. So we have a Beaker. So again, they go to Muppets 101. They got a problem. They go to Dr. Honeydew and Beaker. And Dr. Honeydew, kind of a little Muppet Lab segment on the go. And again, very much like Muppets from Space with all the science stuff they use to save Gonzo. So they go there and they present the wish helmet, which essentially is the ultimate Deus Ex Machina. You put the helmet on, you think hard enough, and your wish comes true. Which would have been like, hey, let's deliver the letters, or let's go to the North Pole. Would have worked wonders. But so what happens is Beaker demonstrates. He demonstrates his thought is a gorgeous girl who speaks in nothing but meeps. which I was rolling on the floor yet again, which how hysterical that was, and the fact that Beaker, for a change, we rarely ever see this. Beaker was sticking up for himself, like, no, I'm not unwishing this. Are you out of your mind? Like, no, he disappears with the girl, and of course, in disappearing with the girl, he takes the helmet with him, and later on, she's just like left under, like Dr. Honeydew cuts in, and this, it's funny. Very funny. And lastly, just keep it simple. Lastly, again, I love Joy, and I love it when she comes back. I think it's like one of those moments where you feel like, oh man, I just love that Uma Thurman cameo, and it was rattling around my mind. And then she comes back, and it's like, oh my goodness, she comes back, and then Santa's brought her back, and Pepe, like us, the ones like in the head over heels, like, oh, because he's fainting at the sight. Because Pepe has a Tarantino thing about him. That might be a deep cut gag to Pepe did all the interviews of the celebrities in the Muppet DVDs, which included an interview with Quentin Tarantino. So I wonder if that's maybe a correlation there. The point is, it's really, really fun little callback with George. It's wonderful.
Okay. Ooh, all right. I guess let's see. Chronologically, Dragon mine would be Minnie and Bobo first, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, just checking. All right, yeah, I love the dynamic between these two. It's almost kind of like a mini movie in itself, sort of happening on the side.
I would so watch a series of this.
Bobo is just kind of like trying so hard to be, like a nice guy and a good coworker around the holidays, but he's every step of the way, he's just getting in Nathan Lane's face and just all his buttons unintentionally.
Just rubbing you the right way.
God. And I just think, I love the, the profiling of the Muppets. Like, I don't know. I can't tell. There's just something different about them.
And there's oh my god, there's the thing that cracks me up about their dynamic is the fact that it's off screen. There's a movie I just want to see so much, Tiki, between these two, where it's the idea they have these meetings and they go over this stuff with each other, where it's like he tackles, he arrests Fozzie and the gang, and he says, take him to the interrogation room. The interrogation room, you mean with the coffee and the donuts? It was the coffee room now. Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, just like I said, I don't really have one particular moment with these two, but I just love the general back and forth dynamic. The
ding, ding,
Bobo, the words, the whole like ring, ring, ring,
ding, ding, ding. He's basically doing their impression of Lex Luthor from the DCEU. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh God. Bobo would make a better Lex Luthor than Jesse Eisenberg.
He so would, and it'd be a great performance too, because you'd have like the nice guy, but again, that's how you had Lex Luthor has his charisma. Like Lex Luthor, this is going to sound insane out of context for anyone who's watching this. Don't watch this out of context. See what you have with Luthor as a bear. You have this again, kind of almost like a teddy bear quality, but he's still a ferocious predator behind the scenes, and we see the dark side of Bobo. No, but all seriousness, but I love I like the bully story with Officer Meany, where he's a bully, and I like that kind of that judgmental nature of a bully is why he's good as a TSA guy. And I love that when he reveals that he was put on the naughty list, we have this great music cue that plays like the dun dun dun. It's just like such shame and shock by everybody in the room, and they just wanted that little tricycle. It's just, Nathan Lane is perfect, man. He's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. For sure. Okay, Dragon, I love I wish there was a Santa Claus. I wish I was a Santa Claus song. I love it. Like I said, it's almost like a Christmas spiritual successor to I'm Going Back There Some Way, and I don't say that lightly.
And when I was watching it, I was thinking of that. I was like, oh man, Tiki's going to get a kick out of this.
I did, man. It's an emotional Gonzo I Want song, and I love those emotional Gonzo I Want songs. I mean, I really do. To me, this song is kind of what made it's kind of the anchor of the whole special for me. It's kind of what made the special worth watching in the first place. Not to say that the rest of the special is bad or anything, but this was definitely for me the big turkey in the middle of the Thanksgiving dinner, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I love I thought the song itself was really nicely done and catchy. I love Gonzo and Fozzie doing a duet with each other. You rarely see Gonzo and Fozzie interacting with each other, so true. I think it's really cool. Like most of the time, it's the best friend dynamic between Fozzie and Kermit. So I think that was really cool. In general, I like Gonzo and Fozzie's dynamic with each other. And man, it's such an art. I love the message behind the song. It's such a it's such a hopeful wish. You know what I mean? Like I wish that I was Santa Claus so I could spread as much joy as he does. Like that's something we don't really talk. You know, we haven't heard that much about with these holiday specials. Is like someone wanting to be Santa Claus just for the sheer humbleness and joy of it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most of the time with the Santa Claus, which is like, oh, I wish I could be Santa Claus so I would have unlimited presents.
Yep.
Okay, and finally, Dragon, I love the resolution to Pepe's arc where he's just like it's the 11th hour. They're trying to get all the letters delivered, and Pepe's like, all dramatically after being a skeptic the whole special, he's just like, I have a confession to make. Okay, that letter is my letter. And Dragon, what was Pepe's wish?
Pepe wanted to be the best opera singer, and then Santa grants his wish, and it's like that, just like that's impossible. And of course, he's in a moment as he discovers he's singing Pagliacci,
like just a very obviously like dubbed recording of Pagliacci.
It is. It's singing Pagliacci.
Pepe puppet.
Yep.
So, like I said, it's a hilarious end to the to the curmudgeon arc for the movie, and just it's just Pepe gold.
Yep.
Just Pepe. All right. I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I think you got a question to ask.
How's it hold up?
A lot better than you'd think. At least than I think initially.
I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna watch this like every Christmas or anything like that, but it's definitely one that like if I'll probably return to that Santa Claus song every Christmas. I'll give you that much. That might be in my roster. Like I said, Dragon, it's a solid 7 out of 10 Muppet movie. It's not gonna wow anyone, but by the same point, I don't think it's really gonna upset anyone either. It's just a nice, it's a nice kind of on the line, very well intentioned family movie. It's you kind of get what you pay for with that. It's like a Hallmark Muppet movie in the best of ways.
Gotcha. For me, it's not complicated. It's chock full of seasonal cheer and pleasantries. I got some solid cameos. It holds up. It holds up well, but definitely not as notable as like Christmas Carol or Muppet, Very Muppet Christmas Movie. It's so definitely, again, it's not top tier Muppets, but it's like good baseline. As Tiki said many times, which I agree with, it's a solid baseline Muppet. It's kind of, again, not trying to put it down by saying this, but it is sort of like a less cynical version of the Muppets. What the Muppets was going for, like the Muppets wasn't entirely cynical, but like overall, I think you'd agree the Muppets is a little bit more grounded in reality. Just has a little bit of more of that kind of that seasonal kind of whimsy to it, which I feel is consistent with what we have with the Muppets ordinarily, the iconic, kind of iterations of them. And again, at the end of the day, it's the Johnny Bravo Christmas special premise, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because it works. It's simple, it's direct, not the most amazing, but it's pleasant. That's pretty much all I can say about it.
All right.
Okay.
Next up.
Well, kids, time to dash away all, but as we wave goodbye, don't you cry. We'll be back again next time.
With even more seasonal shenanigans.
La 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 la. Ding ding ding.